Ha ha! Hey, what is going on, crypto people? That's right. That's right. I am freaking back. I'm home. I'm home. Yeah, I'm home, baby. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Got home yesterday, yesterday evening. Good to be back home. Excited to hang out and share with you guys today. So listen, this $3 billion in trade on the XRPL was just last year. Not total, not encompassing. 3 billion. I think it's important to speak a little bit about what's going on with the XRPL, given we did the live stream with Brad Garlinghouse being at the inauguration, having JD Vance approach him. Then this very, very interesting little clip from Mark Yusko that Jungle Inc. shared. Like that was an interesting little clip. Did you guys see that? I'm going to share Jungle's video. We can watch it together. That was very, very interesting. So it's important to note that. Then you throw in addition to the post that Crypto Eddie shared with Brad Garlinghouse. And it's, the Ripple's vision for in this new financial system is beginning to get legs, right? It was major headwinds. And in the early days, then you throw in the lawsuit as well. Now, just understand that David Schwartz himself said, banks just aren't really that interested in payments. He said that. He's in the meetings. He said that, and he was in the meetings, right? And so the biggest challenge, quote unquote, was two things. It's not just having regulations, but it's about the industry, the financial system, understanding that this is the way. And sometimes it takes a new administration to say, no, 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 this is the way. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. President Trump understands the value in the strong dollar and a weak dollar. He knows the dynamics between having a strong dollar and a weaker dollar. He understands it. It's massively important, massively important. And so, if the digital asset space can play its role and have the U.S. play its role in a strong dollar or a weak dollar, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Because at times we need a strong dollar and at times we need a weaker dollar. And that's a lot of people don't understand that. But those are times when we need a strong dollar, and there are times when a weak dollar is very, very important. And so, or a weaker dollar, right? I should say a weaker dollar. So, in any case, we'll get into that. Some interesting news. Flynn Networks TVL is soaring. That is very, very cool to see for sure. Yeah, good to be back. I'm going to do that looping strategy with XRP. I didn't get a chance to do it out of town. I didn't want to hop on any hotel, Wi-Fi, or any of that stuff doing transactions. So I didn't want to do that. So I'll get a chance to do that here. Appreciate you guys being patient with me while I was hanging out the last 4.5 days in some cold, frigid weather, live streaming as best I could from a hotel. So good to see you guys. What's going on, Leo Messi? Leo Messi was first in the building. Pookie Pookie is here. How are you, my friend? So life is really, really good. So 3 billion in trades last year is massive. The upgrades to the XRPL, we're going to cover that as well. It's something to pay attention to. Again, it's starting to get that. The XRPL, I think, is finally starting to get that, where you can begin to I don't want to say believe again, but you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. Whereas before, you know, last administration, SEC, no regulations, all that kind of stuff. So, and the fact that these invites from the administration with Garlinghouse and Stuart Albright, that says something. And he wants U.S. guys. President Trump wants U.S. guys leading AI and leading the digital asset space. That's massive for us. It can be really, really massive. So, what's going on, Jay Corn? How are you, my friend? Appreciate you guys checking in again. I don't know what's going on with the market right now. I didn't look. I mean, I know it's doing what it does. I got my thing up here on the Made in USA, Made in USA companies. We did that live stream on that, Jay Corn. It's a bigger deal than most people think. Why is Tornado Cash up 157% in the last 24 hours? That's interesting. Why is that going on? All right. All right. why is that going on? So I just refreshed CoinGecko so we can go over that. I got a bunch of stuff on X pulled up, and we'll get through the ones that are important. Some about President Trump, we can now call him President Trump, that I thought was pretty cool. The share, he's not messing around on them executive orders. I mean, getting right to work, and I'm freaking excited about that. Just got to tell you. That's right. I am freaking back. I'm home. I was going to use another B word. I'm back, but I didn't do it. So, yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal with J-Coin, that for sure. And listen, President Trump is getting them executive orders in. I'm excited about them, get more and more of them in. I didn't know my beloved FAA was going through some stuff, going through some DEI and some not working stuff, not showing up at work. I didn't know that my beloved FAA was doing that. Federal Aviation Administration. I didn't know they were doing the DEI stuff. I had no clue. Well, they weren't doing it when I entered. I can promise you that. I was on the, I was doing my thing back then. Back then, no need for no DEI madness. No need for that, J-Coin. No need for that at all. All right. So, yeah, current administration getting to work. I think that's exciting. President Trump's doing his thing. Definitely beneficial. I mean, they got the crypto czar going on and all that. They got the what? The crypto task force. I mean, that's some big stuff there, this task force. Yeah, it's going to be interesting 2025 for sure. They talking about Solana getting up to $400. All right, we got a lot of stuff to cover. Let's get into CoinGecko and what it has. What am I doing here? What it has to say about the market. Let's do that real quick. Go over these numbers. Appreciate you guys again checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. 3 billion trades in just the last year is significant, and yeah, the banking dream and promise, it feels like it's getting closer and closer. It feels like there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's years away still, probably. But, light at the end of the tunnel is definitely encouraging. All right, so let's do this. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is down 2.6% and is at 3.74 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is roughly 55 or 56%. Bitcoin is trading at $104,515 again. On the 30-day Bitcoin's up 12%. Ethereum is trading at $3,276. On the 30-day, it's down 2%. XRP is trading at $3.18. And the 30 days, XRP is up nearly 50%. Really? So 46.6% on the 30-day. I'll take it. Sweet. Solana is trading at $256. And on a 30 days, Solana's up 40%, might as well say. XRP nearly 50% up on the 30 days. Encouraging. Dogecoin is trading at 36 cents. And on the 30-day, Dogecoin is up 16%. So we is trading at $4.58 on the 30-day. It's only up 6% on the 30-day. Hedera hash graph. There's some interesting news about Hedera hash graph. It's gonna be interesting to see what that thing does. Okay, Bitcoin Cash, the BitGet token again, still doing its thing. I wanted to cover what's going on with the Trump thing. Is it below 7 billion? Where is it? Did I pass Trump? Official Trump mean is at 29 now. It's still over 7 billion. But it is under $40. But it's still over 7. I mean, for me, it's got to be below 7 billion. It just leapfrogged some OG meme coins. Oh my goodness, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. For sure. And fart coin, the meme fart coin. Is that $1 billion in market cap? It's up 153% in the last 30 days. Really? Amazing people get the fart coin, man. It's just amazing to me. Let me check out these numbers. Because it's not an AI. It's a little play on it because of Truth Terminal, but it's not, it's a meme coin. Uh, let's see here. What's the all-time high? $2.48. Excuse me, $2.48 is a 90x. My guy, since October, lows of 2 cents. Wow. And my guy traded $100,000 of the Hyperliquid token hype. 100,000 into this. And since October, this thing is 9,000% up. Wow. 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 Good for him, man. Good for him. In 3 months, 90x in 3 months. That is cray. All right. So that's the market, fam. Those are the numbers, and the market is just doing what the market does. Let me welcome some more people to the stream. Um, I'm gonna cover this post or this video for Mark Gusko because it's a little interesting to me. What's going on, Pin 27? How are you, bro? Inkpin 27, I still can't believe XRP is at and holding over $3. I know, crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. I haven't taken any profit. My average thing is 21, 23% cost basis. Yeah. And one of his executive orders actually covers crypto in a way too, Jay Corn. I forget which one it was. But for me, long as we got the task force in place, I'm good. Got a task force in place. You got what's her name? Hester Purse, kind of doing the thing over there. You got Mark Ueda in place as the acting SEC chair. I'm real excited. Real excited about that stuff going forward. So, I mean, when it happens, when those things happen, I mean, just the optimism is enough. The markets are emotionally based. They're founded in emotions. And so just hearing about the SEC and what it's looking to do um, is significant. Now, why? What is that? I don't know why I went there. Uh, is significant enough for us, right? In the digital asset space. Let me go over this video from Jungle. And again, I don't know if you guys saw this Mark Yusko clip that Jungle shared, but it's interesting. Let me see if I can get it. Very interesting. Yeah, it says right here. Did you see this? Let me share this real quick.
There's some talk. This will make the XRP people really happy. There is some talk that XRP could be utilized and/or ordered to be used for a central bank digital currency or as the base layer for national banking.
Or the base layer for national banking? What? There's some talk. Who's saying it? And again, this dude is not going to go out there and say that kind of stuff like that, for sure. That's very interesting. The base layer for national banking, is this the thing? Is this the promise David Schwartz promise and um, beginning to produce some fruit? That's interesting. Which is the one I wanted to share? Was it Crypto Eddie uh, who shared the post of the stream? Hold on, let me see if I can't find it. I think it was Crypto Eddie. Let me just go to her post. Let me just go to her page because I can't find it there. what Brad Gallagher is talking about meeting with the central banking council. Meeting with the central banking council. All right, let me see. Let me get her thing here. That set. She reposted this. I thought I had this. I must have exited. Exit. Yeah, it's not there. She reposted this post from Tyler Tarsi, who's the CTO at Omni. Okay. Decentralized exchanges today lack any compliance functionality. And this holds back top banks and hedge funds from getting involved. How is XRP fixing this? The CTO of Omni weighs in. But anyway, so I'm going to share this here, this little clip, and then I'm going to go over Tyler's post. All right, let's listen, take a listen to Brad Gallagher's here.
First technology of XRP. Look, I actually came to Toronto yesterday from Zurich. I was at a central bankers conference in Zurich, and I was thrilled by the reception, in part because they're inviting Ripple to attend. I was on stage with the CEO of Crypto.com. The CEO of Binance was in attendance. And so I think there's a genuine thirst. And again, this was a central banker conference organized by Switzerland and Singapore. There's no real surprise there. They're leading and saying, hey, let's engage private and public conversation to figure out how the rules should work. And let's make sure we have actors who are trying to live by those rules. But my experience truly has been, once, for Ripple anyway, once we meet with regulators, central bankers, and help them understand, here's how our technology works. Here's how we are using the open source technology of XRP. They get very comfortable because the regulations I think most regulators care the most about are know your customer, KYC, anti-money laundering, AML, terrorist financing. Those are very important foundational regulatory frameworks that don't change in how Ripple goes to market. And I think all crypto companies, probably could do a better job of understanding those are regulatory frameworks that aren't going to go away in any of the G20 markets.
Right.
In any of the G20 markets, and understand, from Ripple's perspective, they're going after a different market, right? In my view, Uniswap is not going after the same market as Ripple, right? It's a different market, right? Ripple, Uniswap is retail, quote unquote, and Uniswap and Ripple, and what they're looking to do is very, very regulated financial entities. Right? You got to understand there's a different market, and when you have a DEX, and you have a decentralized kind of thing, it's a different market than what Ripple is trying to do. Now, Ripple believes that they're going to be able to do the ID, the digital ID, do the KYC and AML, and the segment of that is going to be quote unquote permissioned, right? In terms of and maybe even ZK, right? Was only a certain amount of information is needed to be able to perform the transaction, right? Without sacrificing your privacy of the transaction being made. Ripple believes they're going to be able to get that done as well. But what Ripple is saying in their market is the KYC thing has to be a real thing. So does the AML and the anti-terrorism and all that stuff. It has to be a real deal because these institutions are regulated. So they're going to need the thing that they're going to hop on chain has to be in complete compliance. And that's what they're doing with the XRPL. To make it in complete compliance to what those entities or the financial entities and the banking, the central, all that can't operate on chain unless you got that. Two different markets, right? Just understand that. It's two different markets. Like for me, I'm not really interested in what that financial bank and stuff needs. I'm not interested. I'm hopping on Uniswap. I'm hopping on some kind of decentralized exchange. That's where I'm going, right? I'm not interested in all that other stuff, right? But this company is making that chain that way. Let me cover this Tyler Tarsi thing because I think he posted some 20x thing. I mean, 1,000x in transaction, right? Because he posted about doing 3 billion in trade. Again, this is the CTO at Omni. And I might have, I don't know, I thought I kept that one. Thought I kept it, but don't. All right, I'm gonna just use this one. Okay, so right here, right? It's just, again, this is the CTO over at Omni, right? And Omni and Ripple somehow are involved in something. CTO at Omni, FDN, quantitative trader turned crypto founder. All right. The XRP ledger processed over 3 billion in trades last year. However, most people don't understand that it's pursuing a completely different playbook than other DEXs, which is what I just said. It's two different markets going in two different type of directions. And I would not suggest to say that one is better than the other. I would say that one is better for me than another, right? But just understand it's two different markets, right? However, most people don't understand it. It's pursuing a completely different playbook than other DEXs. Having built trading platforms for JP Morgan, says Tyler, here is why I think that strategy might pay off. Over the past few years, trading volumes on DEXs has skyrocketed. However, no top-tier bank or hedge funds are using them yet. Under the Trump administration, says Tyler, this might all be about to change. Here's why I think the XRPL Ledger DEX is uniquely positioned to lead. And it speaks also to what we shared. This speaks also to what we shared the other day in the live stream, coming from the founder or co-founder of Axelar, co-creator of Axelar, right? The interchain, the interoperability, and how he did this long post, Georgios, how he believed the XRPL is going to be able to position itself very, very uniquely than other blockchains, right? So it says here, from the beginning, says Tyler, the XRP DEX was designed specifically for institutions. It was purpose-built for designed for the institutional needs. So it wasn't designed for institution. It was designed for it to meet the institutional needs, right? It was purpose-built for the highest volume, bank-friendly, tokenized assets like Japan Euro, Japan Yen, Euro, British Pound, and the new stablecoin Ripple dollar. The real unlock is that most people aren't looking at that. What does that say? The real unlock is something that most people aren't looking at, though. All right, let's just.
XRP Ledger is the OG DEX. You know, we had a DEX in 2012. We have cross-currency payments. We have issued assets. We built the XRP Ledger. We designed it, and other people have extended it with the payments use case in mind. And that payment use case is a cross-currency payment world. It's a world where some people like dollars, some people like euros, some people like Bitcoin, some people like XRP. It's a multi-token world. It's a tokenized world where maybe other types of assets are tokenized. And liquidity is sort of the secret sauce to making that work. I think personally, my earliest vision that I think has held for 10 years now was this idea of sort of public pools of liquidity. The XRP.
We all remember that infamous speech that he made about that David Schwartz made. When I worked with the trading desk at Barclays and Millennium, says Tyler, one of the things was clear. If compliance says no, you can't place the trade. Decentralized exchanges today, DEXs today, lack any compliance functionality. And this holds back top banks and hedge funds from getting involved. How is XRP fixing it? Well, he says top banks and hedge funds, there's stuff operating on Ethereum, right? So few are aware that How is XRP fixing this? If you're aware that one of the XRP's largest, newest upgrades solves exactly this. He terms it permissioned domains. Soon, top banks and hedge funds will be able to trade in a regulated, compliant manner on the XRP ledger. This could be the missing piece, and we're already seeing early success. The 3 billion in volume happened without the compliance problem being solved yet. Soon, the permissioned domains upgrade might be the key to unlocking this next stage of growth for XRP. Tyler says, again, this is CTO from Omni, it's possible that top banks could bring a 1,000x volume difference when on board. 1,000x volume difference. It's possible, sure. Having worked on both large-scale TradFi and crypto systems, it's clear to me these will converge sooner than most people understand. Cool. That's cool. And I think that's interesting. Again, this is a guy who worked at the trading desk at places like Barclays and JP Morgan, Millennium. Okay, it's right. So he understands the financial institution end of it and what they need and how they can operate. Again, they can't operate if the compliance says no, it's not, they can't make that trade, right? And this is what the XRPL, this is what they're looking to do, is to get that thing as be as compliant of a blockchain as they possibly can to serve this new, one of the major fundamental foundations of this new financial system. And they're looking to position the XRPL to be able to do it. Now, I think there'll be others like Hedera Hashgraph, obviously. But yeah, this is very, very, very interesting. And for me, I want to know, how does this equate benefit the XRP holder? That is the thing. And again, it has to be demand created for the native asset. Right, has to be demand created. Now, 1,000x in volume, I get it. Every transaction burns XRP. Get all of that. I want demand for the asset. Demand for the asset. XRP. That's what I want. I'm all for it. If you can help create demand for XRP, I'm all for it. If you're talking about creating demand for something else, it doesn't work for me as an XRP holder, as a retail holder. I'm not a financial institution in a bank. I'm a regular retail holder, an investor. How are you adding more value to the asset? How are you creating demand for that asset? That's what I'm interested in. I don't care about $3 trillion in volume if it ain't increasing the demand for the native asset XRP. Now, I understand there's a DEX and there's an AMM and the auto bridging, right? Are we going to create demand for XRP? Auto bridging automatically defaults to XRP as a trade. Got it. Automatically defaults to that. But if there's a better pricing, if there's a better trade using the stable coin, it's going to use that. You understand? So I want more demand for the native asset XRP. That's the key to me. Legendary is in the building. What's going on, bro? What's going on? All right, let me welcome some more people to the stream here real quick. Legendary, I appreciate you checking in. What's going on, Rick Cisneros? How are you, brother? Coffee and Crypto is here. How about that? What is that? Is that Tamika? How are you, Tamika? Legendary says, what you think about Powell being a crap and not stepping down? Yeah, well, have they formally asked him to step down again? Remember we saw the little interview he was asked about if President Trump asked him to step down, would he? Has that come back up again? Well, we got to end the Federal Reserve. That would be a big win, getting rid of that Federal Reserve. You know what I mean? But did that come up again? Mark. Rick Cisnell said, it's unbelievable that Mark Yusko would even say that. He has never supported the XRPL or XRP. That's correct. That's correct, Rick. He has never. I mean, there's rumors, the foundational base system for banking, base layer for banking. This has been the vision. This has been the vision from back in the early days of the Love for Crypto YouTube channel. Coffee and Crypto says, I've had years to figure it out, but saw XLM is all-time low against XRP today, so bought some XLM. Nice, good for you. Now trying to figure out if XRP handles all the money, then what's XLM's purchase? One's institution, one is retail. It's kind of how I'm seeing it. XLM is, when I say it, I mean focus, driven towards. XLM feels more retail use cases. Focused, driven towards. Ripple, the company, is building and helping to build out the XRPL towards institution. It doesn't mean that other projects that eventually come on the XRPL won't be more retail focused, and it doesn't mean that XRPL is not for retail. It doesn't mean any of that. But I'm saying this is Ripple's focus, right? Just like the Stellar Foundation's focus seems to be more, kind of the retail stuff. Again, I want to say it again. Doesn't mean that XRP is not meant for retail. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. It doesn't mean that the XRPL is not meant for retail. I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Ripple, the company, is driving a lot of the advancements of the XRPL for institution. But it doesn't mean that XRP or the XRPL is not for retail. Rick says, CJ, are you aware Uniswap? CJ, you are right. Uniswap is peanuts compared to the total addressable market for institutions, DeFi. It is enormous, and that's what Ripple Labs is going after. Yeah, it's enormous, 100%. But again, I want to point out that doesn't mean that it creates demand for the asset XRP. And to me, that is the key. That is the fundamental key. Ethereum created a model. Ethereum created a model that creates demand for ETH. Even with the L2s and the whole blob thing. And so that's my main thing. For me, just seeing some numbers that say transaction volume is up doesn't mean that the demand for the asset is up. And that's the key. I mean, that's great for Ripple that this volume numbers are up. It's great for Ripple, the company, and its shareholders. But if there's not a demand for the asset, and demand for the asset doesn't mean, XRP being burned. I mean, that's awesome. But demand for the asset comes in liquidity pools, right? It comes in those liquidity pools as one example. Legendary says, Bank of America president was just talking about using crypto. He was bragging about all the patents that Bank of America has already. Yeah, I just saw that. What's going on, Bubba Smith? So that's my thing, man. I want to see more, go to work, Ripple, but I want to see more demand for the native asset XRP. Because it's still speculation. The market's still going up in speculation. And you can always look at the daily active users and the amount of new wallets. You can look at the dApps that are being used and check their volume. Those are the signals for me, for sure. Yeah, storage demand, right. That's exactly right. Rick says there, CJ, there has to be storage demand. This is key. XRP, this is what institutions need to do billions in transactions. Does nothing for XRP holders. Yeah. This is the key, right? When he says it does nothing for XRP holders, right? Then I'm not interested. It's good for Ripple and the shareholders, right? So that is going to be the key. And part of it will be is that a lot of people won't understand that, and they'll hear all the success that Ripple is having with institutions, and they'll get XRP. Right, right. That will definitely happen. They'll be going out and buying XRP because they're hearing all the stuff that they're doing with these institutions, right? And so, which means to me that's still a speculative market, and XRP is still based on speculation. But when you create liquidity pools, this creates demand for the asset XRP, right? And that's what we want from a retail perspective. When you get more smart contract capabilities, et cetera, from various DApps, that's where you create demand for XRP in mind. I hear Mickey B. Fresh use that term storage demand a bunch. To me, was again, one institution bringing $1 trillion on the XRPL does not mean that they've created demand for XRP. So hopefully the people, David Schwartz and the people over there understand this, this demand for XRP thing, and they put things in place that will, because a lot of this is this optional stuff, this optional stuff. And I will say this optional, the option to use XRP is it's more open, it's more inviting, right? It's more inviting, right? But once you get them in, and they love how well the XRPL moves and handles transactions, then you can say, well, XRP is now the default only option, right? So hopefully that's in the game plan. Hopefully that's in the roadmap. We're gonna make it open. You don't have to use XRP. You can but for me, I want that to eventually change. Once they got enough people on, they can see the prowess, right? It's kind of like a upsell, if you will, right? Creating more demand for XRP, I think, is going to be the real big key. All right. So hopefully they have that in mind. The EZA app guys were talking about XRP as well. This is the video you were talking about, Legendary, right here. And Dom, one of the co-creators of, he just followed me the other day. If this happens, you need to study both Ripple and Stellar. Made in America, focused on finance, existing partnerships with TradFi. So take a listen to this video from the CEO of Bank of America. It says here, documenting Bitcoin, Bank of America CEO says the banking industry will adopt Bitcoin and crypto if regulations allow them. Let's take a listen.
System will come in hard on the train. There's still 4,000 banks, so it's not like there's considered the disaggregation industry.
Let me ask you a separate question now, and Becky's got one back in Washington, but on crypto, we just had Brian Armstrong sitting in the seat that you were in, and obviously there's a lot of excitement about crypto. The banking business, for the most part, has stayed away from crypto. Given President Trump's full-throated support for crypto, do you imagine Bank of America is going to be full on in the crypto business if we have this conversation 12 months, 24 months from now?
I'd separate out this sort of crypto versus stable assets and digital movement of money, because we already move the vast majority of our money digitally. Our consumers do, our companies do. And so the question is, what's the business practice that you have to move another type of currency? So if the rules come in and make it a real thing that you can actually do business with, you will find that the banking system will come in hard on the transactional side of it, non-anonymous, transactional, verified, et cetera, because we have to, because it's just another way our customers are going to.
The other thing we were talking about was the possibility that Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies actually are a threat to the US dollar. Scott Bessent's talked about needing the US dollar to be super powerful.
Yeah.
Is it a threat?
I think there's a whole bunch of dynamics about all the trade and all the consumption of the US consumer and all the stuff that goes on. But I think we do need a strong US dollar. We need a US dollar to be reserve currency. It's good for our country. But what I'm saying is if you go down the street here and you go in and buy lunch, right? If you can pay with Visa, MasterCard, a debit card, Apple Pay, et cetera, et cetera. This will just be another form of payment in an instantaneous cash transfer. And so I think if it becomes regulatory okay, which it wasn't before, and that's one of the issues, you'll see the banking system enter with, we have hundreds of patents on blockchain already. We know how to enter the field. When you get to the investment side and the Bitcoin stuff, that's really a separate question. That's more on the investment side. From the transactional side, I think you'll see the banking industry make moves.
From the transactional side, you think you'll see the banking sector make moves. So again, interesting, to say the least. But again, this is Dom from the EZA app chiming in on a lot of stuff. Got a lot of people are kind of around the XRP and the XRPL posting a lot of making a lot of optimistic posts around what they see happening, right? And so you get, again, XR guy, you get this Dom guy from EZA app. So these are important things, but it's going to happen. Regulations kind of opens the door for a lot of things. It's going to be very, very interesting. Who posted about the SOB 121 repeal? I know John Deaton said something, and I think it's important before I cover some of Senator Loomis. John Deaton said something. Because let me try and see if I can't find it. Because I felt like it was one of the executive orders. Here's President Trump. Boss moving some people. I can't wait to share that. So the CEO of BNY Mellon, CEO of $50 trillion bank, BNY Mellon, says digital assets represent a new, interesting, innovative technology, which we think could be important to financial systems over the next 10 to 20 years. So again, with these regulations, so the SOB 121 is a big deal because it allows these banking stuff to begin the custody thing. Who shared it though? I thought it was Deaton. I know he suggested here's Eric Weiss. Where's Eric Weiss of? Crypto asset manager, CEO, Bitcoin investment, GR, board of directors, Core Scientific. Okay. The imminent repeal of SOB 121 is the single biggest catalyst for price appreciation in crypto and Bitcoin. Banks' ability to custody crypto means you'll be able to borrow against your crypto. Similarly, what would the price of real estate be if there were no mortgages and you had to pay in cash? So John Deaton reposted here that statement. And I knew that was going to happen when I did that. I don't know why. John Deaton said, if he would be recommending some stuff. He said, agreed. President Trump, with the help of David Sachs and I don't know, who's Bo Hines? And Donald Trump Jr., Aaron Trump, and others, is setting up a White House Crypto Council. Heard about that? The White House Crypto Council. In my opinion, here are the top things to focus on. He spelled repeal wrong, but we all know what he meant. Repeal SOB 121. The repeal of SOB 121 is the most important first step. It is foundational and allows crypto to become part of the financial infrastructure in a global economy. A de facto SBR, Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. In order to establish an SBR where the government actually buys Bitcoin over a specific period of time, it will require an act of Congress. And Senator Lummis has proposed the bill. President Trump could, however, establish a de facto strategic Bitcoin reserve by executive order. He could order the creation of a cryptographic escrow locking up to 200,000 Bitcoin, currently owned by the US government, for 20 years. This serves as a de facto strategic Bitcoin reserve, an asset owned by the USG with no intent to sell. Another thing John Deaton is recommending here says taxes paid by crypto. Allow people to pay taxes using Bitcoin, slant crypto, without incurring a capital gains tax when they make a tax payment. A very small percentage of taxes collected in crypto could also be deposited in the crypto escrow to build the reserve. A lot of people are expecting a strategic Bitcoin reserve to get passed. I believe that is overly optimistic. Republicans don't have a big majority. Plus, Congress doesn't act very fast. And 1 year from now, we'll be in midterm election season. The midterms come quick. If the Democrats take control of the Senate in 2026, not saying it'll happen, only if. Guess who's in charge of the Senate Banking Committee? All right. So the repeal of the SOB 121 is going to be big, and it's going to be massively important. All right, so let me get over here real quick. So I shared Jungle's video. I thought that was interesting. Organic Nietzsche. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, my friend? Yvette is here. What's going on, Yvette? How are you? Organic Nietzsche says, hey, CJ, been watching you for over a year now. I appreciate that, my friend. Have you heard of a channel named Jeremy? I am him. Okay. What? Jeremy, I am him. Have I heard of a channel called Jeremy, I am him? No, I have not. He really has an interesting take on XRP and how becoming an accredited investor and how becoming an accredited investor secures your XRP. Is that right? I'm not a big fan of the whole accredited investor thing, to be honest with you. I think it's the biggest scam ever. And speaking of scams, Legendary says a mortgage is such a scam. There has to be a better way to borrow money. Mortgages are brutal. It's one of the biggest lies perpetuated on the American people. Buy old money. Yep, buy old money. Amber Brown, how are you, miss? Hello. Is it true that XRP will be using Flare's network? Because I saw an article that they were going to use Chainlink instead. They're using Chainlink right now. Flare doesn't offer what Ripple was looking to get in terms of Oracle data on Ethereum. So they will be using Chainlink, Amber. Appreciate you checking in. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. And by the way, if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the CryptoCeej, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're on a mad dash to get to 9,000 subs by the end of this month. And you can help us get there by doing your part right now, by just hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. Appreciate you checking in. And this is new people checking in here. Organic Nietzsche, I believe that is. And Amber Brown. Yvette. Is that Evid or Yvette? What's going on, Cali Cat? How are you, my friend? Appreciate you checking in this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. It's a great day to be an XRP holder. I gotta tell you that. It's a great day to be an XRP holder. I'm telling you. All right. So yeah, let me cover this. I want to share so this is definitely a good video to watch with Mr. Monahan from Bank of America. That's my boss move. I'm going to share that for last. Oh, we got a little interesting warning from the tax. Is he the tax expert or the tax guy, Clinton Donnelly? The crypto tax fixer. This is an interesting thing. I want to it's like a PSA here from Clinton Donnelly. I need to sound the alarm on something. The IRS has been issuing what's known as Letter 6173. This letter typically references a potential failure to report all crypto income between 2016 and 2020. The recipient is instructed to review their records and sign a form under penalty of perjury, confirming the accuracy of their tax returns. If the form is not returned, the IRS warns that the case may be referred for an audit. The letter is deliberately vague about which year, 2016 to 2020, it pertains to. Most taxpayers are protected by a 3-year statute of limitations for audits. However, the IRS can extend this period under 2 conditions. One, if income was underreported by more than 25%, if fraud is suspected. Signing and returning the form effectively invites scrutiny. Signing and returning this form effectively invites scrutiny, says Clinton Donnelly, the crypto tax fixer. Okay. By signing, taxpayers risk opening the door to a fraud investigation, which eliminates statute of limitations protection. So they're trying to put a little hoodwink. They're trying to pull a little bamboozle. Fraud investigations can extend indefinitely, leaving taxpayers vulnerable. My strong recommendation, says Clinton Donnelly, to anyone receiving letter 6173 is not to sign or return it. Ignoring the letter does not automatically result in an audit. Instead, the burden remains on the IRS to prove their case within the statute of limitations. By signing, you risk surrendering critical protection. Again, that's a lawyering move there. And they're using the agency is kind of like, that threat makes you scared, freaks you out. And you think it's on your best it's on your behalf. It's in your best interest to sign it, when in fact, Clinton Donnelly is suggesting that it is the exact opposite by signing that thing. Very, very brutal. You know how we feel about the Federal Reserve and the IRS. They're not our friends. They're not our friends, Amber. Not our friends at all. Letters like this were also issued in 2020. Yet, to my knowledge, no audits follow. These seem to be scare tactics designed to pressure taxpayers into compliance. It's disheartening that the United States government resorts to such measures to collect taxes. I hope the incoming Trump administration takes steps to eliminate these underhanded techniques. Stay vigilant and know your rights. Letter 6173 is more about intimidation than enforcement. Please share this information. Knowledge is power. So, little PSA right there. Little PSA for you guys. Interesting. Gotta tell you, that's interesting. I'm share some of that President Trump stuff here. Flare Networks. This is from Financial Freedom. Flare Networks just updates coming within the next 4 to 6 weeks and in 2025. Hugo will articulate his vision. Flare 2.0 sometimes next month. His vision for 2025 and 26 will be announced. which to include accelerated growth in TVL, which is, he says, will be 10 to 50x current TVL. Okay. Flare AI agent, compute and even moving his headquarters to the USA. We did a live stream about this while we were at the hotel. People coming back to the US or, moving to the US for the first time from out of the country, from other countries. All this is being discussed currently and planned, especially with Trump winning the presidency. Hugo is waiting to hear crypto latest clarity announcements in order to make his headquarters decision. Also in February, FXRP will be going live on mainnet. Also, it says in February. Okay. FDO's very likely to go live in March. This is this guy's speculation. FBTC I expect to go live on Flare Network in April. Okay. Again, speculation. So this is some good stuff. We all heard about Hugo is going to be doing kind of like a blog on his vision for 2025 and going forward for Flare Networks. That's awesome. But yeah, that's a good reminder about FXRP going in February. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. Okay, I covered that already from John Deaton. More boss moves. Just kind of a friendly reminder. I mean, the CFA guys are really good with numbers. So this is an interesting post. It says, we can't go on living like this. Jennifer Harper Brown. My husband and I were talking last night about how a 12-pack of drinks is $9 now, and how in 2020, I used to be able to buy 4 for $10. I decided to go back into my Walmart app and see what I was paying for a random grocery order. In January of 2020, I paid $70 for 30 items. I added all of them up to the cart. I added all of them to the cart again and repurchased them today. Today, those 30 items were $165. That's a $95 price increase in 4 years. $95 in 4 years' time. That's 135.6% inflation percentage. We can't go on living like this. I can't be the only one who feels this way. Nope, you're not. Absolutely cray. But that is the case. That's cray. All right, let me get back to that here. Amber Brown is asking, do you believe that Flare will do good this bull cycle? It's in the top 100. I hope it does. I hope that it does. I can tell you the Flare Networks has some really nice dApps on there with nice liquidity pools, nice use cases, nice UI and UX. And I'm really excited about Flare. Obviously, it's an XRP holder for sure. I think that Flare Networks, the FLR token, I think what they're focusing on with data, I think a lot of people just don't understand it, especially retail. My question is for me, is Flare Networks going to be able to articulate the message of the value of data well enough that developers and and builders, and CEOs, understand it? That is going to be the key, because DeFi has gone on for so long without the valuable data, but it's still gone on. It's still done over 10 billion in TVL without reliable data. Thus means without the value focus on reliable data, it still did billions in TVL. And so my thing is this message going to get across to the benefits of reliable, accurate, valuable data. Is that going to get across and resonate? That is going to be the key. I do love that they're on their own lane, doing their own thing with data, the blockchain for data and AI. But if it's very, very similar to when Ripple in the early days, I'm going to say 16, 17, 18, were going to banks and institutions and saying, this is how we can help you save so much money, right? This is how the XRPL works. You can free up the trillions of dollars. Da, da, da. And ultimately, the customer did not want what the salesperson was selling. They didn't want faster and cheaper. In other words, they didn't see the value in it. They didn't want it. Right? Especially the big banks. Smaller banks probably, but not the bigger ones. And the bigger ones control the banking situation. So my point to all that rambling is, are the customers going to want what Flare is selling? Are they going to want it? That's going to be the key. Right? Or for Flare, who is going to be the customer that values, right? You got 3 customers. Who's going to be the customer that values reliable data, accurate, reliable data the most? And Flare has to be able to sell them on those benefits. That's going to be the key, in my opinion. And we'll see if they can. Because a message can't be, technical, right? It's not about proving how smart you are. It's about, I got a message. I'm going to communicate this message in a way that you receive the message. That is the key. And we're going to have to see if Hugo figures that out. It's not about the message. It's about effectively communicating the message so that the customer receives it. They understand it. They get the value in it. Reliable, accurate data. If they don't, then they're not. And again, a prime example is DeFi. Right? TVL, tens of billions, I believe, 10 to 20 billion in TVL without reliable data. Data, but not reliable. Data, but not necessarily accurate. Data, but not necessarily accurate and reliable and timely. But DeFi still happened. So Flare has to communicate the message of how it would benefit the customer to have reliable, on time, verifiable data in a decentralized manner. They're going to have to relay that. And it's going to have to be a message that resonates with their potential customers. Organic Niji says, Niji, I agree with you, CJ. Not sure if he's spreading FUD or awareness, but it's an interesting take on XRP retail holds versus XRP accredited investors holding of XRP. Yeah. And this, again, the whole idea is we can get rid of accredited investor. It was just a way for old money to continue to keep the masses as to being their exit liquidity. That was the purpose of the accredited investor. Under this guise of protecting retail, it was a way to harm retail or to steal value from retail. Because what they were saying is, yeah, we're early to stuff because we're on the inside, but who will we sell our stuff to? Are we going to be selling to each other? We need a group of people that we can sell to. And that was reason for accredited investor. It was a smoke screen, right? Legendary says FLR is the best and most expansive, accurate Oracle out. They crush Chainlink and HBAR, correct. FLR is just a little late to the party. And that's, again, it's going to be that challenge. And so we'll see if, Flare and Flare Labs, whoever can figure it out and figure out a way to get that message out and share the prowess and how significant and important that it is. I can see they got some stuff for free. I can see they got different tiers for data. You know, they're going to have to create a model and a business model that snatches up market share for sure, because the technology got it better, more decentralized than Chainlink, and of course others. If it's better than Chainlink, then it's better than the others. But can they sell that message? It's going to be key, I think. So, and I'm a big fan of Flare, Amber, big fan. But they got to, you got to go out into the market and prove and prove it, right? Citadel Lama says, exciting news. Looking forward to working with the SEC acting chair, Mark Ueda, Hester Peirce, and the Trump administration to set clear rules for the digital asset industry to ensure that the U.S. remains a global leader in financial innovation. All right, so this is the announcement of the task force. Acting Chairman Ueda announces formation of new crypto task force, and Commissioner Hester Peirce will lead an agency-wide effort. So I think that is cool. All right, so let me share some stuff from President Trump. It's been just over 24 hours since Trump's inauguration, and he's already taken steps to deliver on his campaign promises. This lady here breaks down everything the new president has done so far, which is the one that I really thought was cray-cray. The world? Am I exiting out of stuff that I want? I wanted to show this. Here it is. Oh, this is funny to me. All right, so this is what Trump does, right? This is what President Trump does. My Masayoshi son, Mr. President, last month I came to celebrate your winning and promised $100 billion. And you told me go for 200 billion. Right there, he did it right live. President Trump did it right there live and said, why not go 200 billion? So my Masayoshi son is now saying, now I came back with 500 billion. This is because, as you say, this is the beginning of the golden age. We wouldn't have decided this unless you won. And I commented, this is what true, strong leadership brings. I don't know why I got strong brings. This is what true and strong leadership brings. Listen to this guy.
Celebrate your winning. Well, Mr. President, last month I came to celebrate your winning and promised that we will invest $100 billion. And you told me, oh, Masa, go for 200. Now I came back with 500. Because this is as you said yesterday, this is the beginning of golden age of America. This is one great example, I think, right? We wouldn't have decided to do this. I think so. This is the beginning of golden age. We wouldn't have decided unless you won. And yesterday we agreed, we signed to make this happen.
500 billion. I don't know. This guy's from Japan, obviously, or something or in there. But to me, that is just clear prime example of when you have that kind of leadership in it, because they just know what's going to happen. Yeah, Legendary, I agree. Legendary says the SEC needs to leave crypto alone. Let the CFTC handle it already. Yeah, we all heard about Gary Gensler's last day. He brought a suit or something against the Helios. It's now called Nova Labs, but I think they would call it Helios Network. I believe that's in the Solana ecosystem. He bought a suit, which I think is crazy. Absolute crazy. So again, the big word for the stream is XRPL is moving in a direction and is finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel, in my view, with this coming, with President Trump being in office, with the SEC, new SEC chair coming. Just, hopefully we can get rid of whoever's running the FDIC and whoever's running the OCC. Hopefully we can get rid of those guys. That'll be important. And then, the Treasury is going to be important. I forget who they picked, but they're going to have to do something with the Federal Reserve. Yeah, because the Federal Reserve think they're running things. Jerome Powell and the boys think they're running things. So they're going to have to figure out a way to get them out of there. So, and we're going to have to see how that's going to play out. It's not going to affect this bull run. So we'll see. But that is, to me, that's, the dude was going to do a 100 bill last month. President Trump said, why not 200 bill? Why not 200 bill? Right? Why not commit to 200 bill right now? That's what he said. It was live during this guy, saying he was going to do 100 bill. He's like, why not do 200 bill? Investing in this thing going forward for the states, for this country. And now the dude came back with 500 billion, signed it, 500 billion investment in the USA. What do you think that's about? What do you think that's about? That's about strong leadership. They know what's good. They ain't trying to get in. They don't want to be on the wrong side of it. You don't want to be on the wrong side of it. It's boss, just boss. And this is an example, in my view, of having the right leadership. All right, so I think that's it, family. I think that is it. I got to do something for our Patreon group here. I appreciate you guys checking in. It's gonna be really, really, really interesting to see going forward what's going to happen with FLR token. That's right. That's right, legendary. That's right. FA and FO. That's right. That's exactly right. Right, which means effing around and effing and find out. Effing around and find out. Or F around and find out. That's what that means. In a big time way. In a big time way. Rick Cisneros says we need Congress to make rules so there is no dispute. Yep. It's going to be challenging, but I think they're going to get it done. I really, really do. First thing, let's repeal that Sob 121. I feel like that's low-hanging fruit that can be done. So I look to hear something in the next coming days that they got that. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. The ability to handle and custody crypto and the banking financial system is going to be a really, really big deal. So, all right, fam, thank you so much for hanging out. Do me a favor. We got over 200 people on the stream or checked out the stream or checked into the stream. Do me a favor. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, please do so on the way out. It's one of the greatest ways to support the channel. Helps get the channel out to more people out there who don't understand that there's a new financial system being built right underneath their nose, who don't understand the bogus IRS and the bogus Federal Reserve and what that means to them. They don't understand about the debasement of the currency and how it's been affecting them financially. They feel it, but they don't really understand why it's happening to them. And by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel, it helps to get the channel out to more people so we can educate them, because we need a new 1% over here. We need a new 1%. All right, fam. There it is. Thank you again so much for hanging out. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you.